Okay, I really wanted to showcase the connections between all of the devices, the server, the web, and the host. So I wanted to film this on my phone, and this is basically showing after I sent in a push to GitHub, it is auto deploying that new push from the server, from the third-party server on render. It is grabbing, it is auto cloning anytime. This is a system that you can set up or you can have it denied and just manually deploy. But right now it is checking for that impurities, it is checking if it can run on Node server.js, and it is checking for the server running and is basically making sure that it can go live. And this is useful if you want to connect between devices and not just on one device, because if you're doing it on local, you can only connect on one device. And so let's get famous. You have the room code, you have the name, you have your join room, and this is basically the setup that is just on the server, and it shows that specific socket ID that is connected to that connection, that is connected to that singular web player. And the same thing will go when we have a host. We will have all these, it will have a host that is sending, it is sending a unique ID. I do have a problem with my room code right now. There's something that is a delay in the server that is just causing two IDs to show up, but it is automatically disconnected. You can see the room is closed, but that room BDMQ is auto created for the host, so it is designed specifically for that socket ID, for that host ID. No one else can connect to it on the host side. So basically, now we are just putting in that ID, we are putting in the name, and we are connected as a player. And so that player ID is specific to that room, it is specific to all of that, and we are there. And I want to also showcase here that I can do more than one connections right now, because I know that we only really mentioned that we needed a connection from a client and a host, but I wanted to show that we can have two players and one host, three players, one host. Right now it's up to three, but basically, and it's showing all this information. And because players and all these IDs are very important, we want to make sure that not two names are the same. So now it's going to be Tony. So that ID is connected to the name Tony so that there is no confusion in the code. Everything is set up so it is beautifully, so there is no mess ups, no meshing of the code. And so there is the choosing the character. And again, I wanted this to be singular, so it's like only one person can be a character. So even if I tried, even if I wanted my heart's desire, I cannot choose Rayanne if Tony's chosen Rayanne. But I can choose someone else, or if he wanted to choose, he has the options to switch, and that option will become available thanks to the code that I've mentioned before in my slides. And so we have the ability to lock in, and then Tony can lock in if he wants. And then we're going back to the server side, or sorry, to the host side. And this is where we show the lock-in and the communication from the host to the players. Because we showed that there is communication from players to host, but now there's host to players. And it is turning that countdown on, and it is going to send in 3 seconds a rolling die to start the game. And so this is the player responding back to the host saying, this is what I rolled, this is going to be my new position, this is going to be what player I am, and it's going back, and it is showing that Tony rolled a 1, Daria rolled a 5, so the lock-in, the order is going to be Daria's higher, she's going to be first, Tony's going to be second, finalized order, basically. And so I also want to demonstrate here is the disconnection. If Tony leaves, he's gone, everything updates and auto updates and deletes. And then the same thing when a host disconnects, it takes a few seconds, but it will kick everyone from the player and say host has disconnected, room is closed. And it'll boot you back to the join room, and it'll say everything on the server. Player has left, room has closed, basically all of that. And so this is basically the beginning. This is the most important parts of connecting that server, and I'm excited to build on this.